Today, we're diving into the wild and wonderful world of movement and motion, but not the kind you're thinking. We're talking about getting our old trailer ready for the trade-in and adventure that comes with it.
In this video, we're gonna walk you through the nitty-gritty of prepping your trailer, the crucial things to look for, and trust me, some unexpected bumps along the way. Spoiler alert, we're 2 months in and still waiting on a few things.
We'll also share our battle with getting the house ready for the big move. Downsizing and decluttering. It's a process that can make you question everything and almost break you. But hang tight, because we've got tips to make it smoother for you.
Then it's the final move out of the house, all leading up to the first trial run of living in the trailer for a week. Now this week is a game changer, and we'll tell you why it's the most important part of your journey.
Trust us, you won't want to miss these tips and tricks, because they will make your transition a breeze. Let's get moving.
It all started with the dream that Patience and I had for years, to travel the country and live a simpler life. We'd always talked about it and imagining the freedom of the open road and exploring new places and embracing new experiences. But we needed to wait until our last kid graduated high school. And both of our boys had already previously moved out. This was perfect time.
So one Saturday morning, we sat down at the table for breakfast and we looked over at each other and we just knew that it was time. The decision felt right. It felt like it was now or never. We started by diving headfirst into research. Every evening after work, we would sit together. We'd watch countless YouTube videos of other RVers, learning about their experiences and also gathering tips. We went and visited an RV show and we explored different models and layouts, imagining ourselves living in them. Our excitement was building with each passing day, but we also knew we had a lot of preparations to make before we could hit the road. There were so many questions to answer, like what kind of RV would be best for us and our situation? How would we handle our mail, our doctor's appointments? What about our jobs and our finances? How would they work out? Despite the uncertainties, we were determined to make it happen. Our dream was finally within reach, and we were ready to do whatever it took to turn it into reality. We began by tackling the mountain of stuff we had accumulated over the years. The basement was the first battleground. I remember finding a bin that was shoved to the back underneath the stairs. It was full of memories of when our kids were little. There were beautiful blankets that our loving family members and friends made for them. It was really tough letting some of the things go, but we kept reminding ourselves of the freedom that awaited. Our living room turned into a sorting station of keep, sell, and donation items. It was so overwhelming, but also liberating. Okay, so next came selling our stuff. We held a huge indoor garage sale where I posted a lot of items online, and we met some really interesting people. One family that came by had just moved into an apartment that day, and they came to look for stuff for it. I could tell that they didn't have much. They bought a trash can for a great deal and also ended up leaving with several other items that I had offered up to them. It made things that much easier to let go, knowing that I was able to help somebody in the process. We also sold Dave's motorcycle that had just been sitting around for years. It was bittersweet.
Bitter for me, sweet for her. Now, here we are, moving day. Now, moving day was a mix of chaos and excitement. We had so much help from family and friends, and our middle son, Jackson, well, he really came in clutch by rounding up all of his friends and especially their trucks. We needed them.
So we already have so many people, so many people here to helping with us. It's crazy to see the amount of support you have when you're moving. But I guess like what everyone says, a lot of hands make a light load, and it has been going by so fast.
But we packed up all of our essentials and we said goodbye to our home. You know, with every move comes a little bit of chaos, and our move was no different. I forgot to hook the trailer that we were doing for storage up to the old Brutus. I just kind of had it sitting there, and one of the movers decided to walk up it, and bam, Brutus got its first ding. I wouldn't have had it any other way, just a constant reminder of things are gonna happen on the road, but that's where Brutus got its first little welcome to the family, Brutus. We're all a little dinged up, but that's okay.
Finally, the day came to take possession of our new home. We drove to the dealership, and there it was, shiny, new, and ready for adventure. Walking through the trailer for the first time felt so surreal. We were like kids in a candy store, opening up cabinets and testing out the features. There were a few surprises, like finding out the refrigerator would not stop beeping.
All right, so here's a couple tips and tricks that I learned about my journey. And for those thinking about making this giant leap, well, here's just a little bit of advice. Be prepared for the unexpected. Embrace the chaos, and don't be afraid to let go of the old, just so you can make room for some new. Here's a huge tip for new buyers, that it is to visit the manufacturer site. So if you're buying a Grand Design, go to the Grand Design site. If you're buying a Alliance, go to the Alliance site. Check for that year, get that sticker price, and then check to make sure that everything in that sticker matches up what's actually at the dealer. And that's something that I did when we went from manufacturer to dealer, was that we had done a lot of our homework, a lot of our research, but there was a few things that were missing from what we were getting to what we were supposed to get. We were supposed to be able to have our slide outs work from our phones, just something as little as that. And I knew that because I had done the research, I was on YouTube, and the day that we were walking through it, I said, well, how do I do this? And they're like, oh, I don't know if you can. And I'm like, well, you can. She's like, well, is that a deal killer for you? Do you need to have it? I'm like, well, absolutely. It's something that I wanted to purchase. It's something that was a huge help for patients and I. When we get into tight spots, we can watch our slide outs come out by just standing there. So that was a huge thing for me. And if I didn't speak up, well, they probably wouldn't have fixed it. And that's tip number one, is to know what you're getting before you get there. And here's tip number two. I mean, for us, we had a lot of little things that's just added up. Like there was a little bit of scratches and dents. The slide outs that I was just talking about wouldn't connect. The refrigerator kept beeping. All these little things that when you add them together, you came to a pretty good sized list. Oh yeah, and my tire TPMS, that didn't connect. And that was one of the biggest issues for us, was my tire pressure, my freezer, and just a lot of these little issues. And so a huge tip right here is to make a video of everything that needs to be worked on. This will avoid the confusion, and honestly, the sales manager loved the video that I put together, and he said in an email to me, he said he wishes that all clients would do that. And unfortunately, the dealer doesn't know 100% when a rig comes in of everything that needs to go over, so video is a great tip. Fortunately for us, we needed to get on the road longer than it would actually take for some of these things to get done. Some of the parts were on back order. The fridge couldn't get fixed in time, and so Grand Design was gracious enough to send a mobile tech out to us to get our fridge fixed. We are still waiting on parts till this day that were back ordered, and we're about 2 to 3 months in at the time of this video. And so really document everything in this process, because if you don't document, don't film it, then you don't have that proof that, hey, this needed to get done before we took possession of the trailer. So that was a couple really huge tips. Know what you're getting and document anything that you feel like you need to get fixed before you actually take possession. So last night we took possession of our trailer, and you know, that exciting time where you actually drive it off the dealer lot and you take it home and you kind of play with it, push all the buttons, make sure that everything works. Well, we couldn't take it home because we have a really steep driveway. So we found a church parking lot and we played in it. So
let me talk to you guys about this journey that we're on. Yes, we're selling everything we own, and yes, we're committed, we're doing it, but it's not easy. Everybody on YouTube, or the majority of the videos that I've seen on YouTube, are videos that show you about, hey, here we are, look at our life, this is awesome, we love it, da 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 da, or this is how you fix this is how it's going like this. But what they don't talk about is the part of the journey that I think is really crucial, and that's the getting started part of the journey when you're getting started full timing, right? And so when you're getting started full timing, there is a lot of decision fatigue that goes into this. And you find yourself asking, are we doing the right thing? Are we are we doing the right thing? You ask yourself that question over and over and over. It's too late now for us. We're kind of in it. We're committed, and we're not saying we're backing out. But guys, the decision fatigue is real. My wife at the moment right now is going through her clothes. She's going to decide what to take, what to donate, and what to put in storage. And as you probably can imagine, that decision alone can cause a huge decision fatigue while you're out there, just going through your wardrobe, right? And you have to do that. You have to narrow it down. You have to break it down to things that don't need to come on the journey with us, that can stay in storage, or you can donate. I mean, that's just, you have to do that, or you're not going to be able to fit a 5-bedroom home into a 2-bedroom trailer, right? So, the decision fatigue is real that nobody ever likes to talk to you about. So please, we would love your guys' thoughts, your guys' assistance on what you guys have done to help combat that and, make the journey a little bit more enjoyable. Last night, my wife says, she woke up yesterday morning and she was really stressed about everything, selling everything that we own. And she took years to get all the stuff that she wanted in the house and making it look perfect and organizing it the right way. And then all of a sudden she has to sell. And she was kind of venting to me a little bit about the stress, that the toll that it's taking to her to get rid of all this stuff. And and then leaving the state that she grew up in. She's never lived anywhere else, leaving her family, leaving her friends, and having a little bit of those human emotions, those realistic human emotions. And she was talking to me and she's like, it's really difficult not knowing where we're going to be 2 months, 3 months from now. It's really difficult not knowing that we can just come home. It's different when you're camping. You can go, you can enjoy yourself, you can get away, get in vacation mode, and then come back home. And you get that feeling of, I'm lying in my own bed. Well, we don't know how that's going to be. We've never experienced it, but we do know that peace is not going to be there for us. We're just going on vacation and we're coming back home, right? That's not going to be there for us. So we're going to miss that. And so there's a ton of decisions that go into full-time RVing that you don't realize unless you're doing it, that can impact you emotionally. And, as my wife was venting to me, I'm like, I get it. I mean, I don't understand it to her level, but I get it. And I can be very sympathetic to the stresses that she's going through. And I have a tendency of being more, this is awesome. New toys I get to play with. I get to do new things. I get a new truck. I get a new trailer. I get a new, all the new. And I'm enjoying the journey. And, she had a long pause and a long, I guess, come to Jesus moment for herself where she thought, I need to enjoy this journey. And I was so appreciative when she said that to me, that it felt like a million little stresses have just been lifted from not only her, from me and our relationship, right? Because I could just sense every time I was talking to her, just stress. And she's like, I don't need to enjoy the destination. I need to enjoy the journey. And I'm like, yes, we are creating a movement and we're starting so that we can have motion, right? And kind of our channel name, Movement in Motion, right? We're creating that motion so we can have that movement, right? So anyways, long story short, I really appreciate her and all the decisions that she's made to get us to this point. If you guys are looking at something very similar, just know going in that when you're ready to start full-time RVing, there's a lot more decisions than just, oh, what truck, what trailer. And if you already have the truck and trailer, there's a lot more decisions than like storage, not storage, donate. It takes a lot longer than you think to get to this stage. We're almost there. We're counting down the weeks before we embark on our maiden voyage. We've decided that we're going to head down to St. George because we do have family down there, and be closer to that for a little bit, maybe like a month or a couple weeks, a month before we actually head out on the journey east.
This journey isn't just about the destinations, but it's about every moment along the way. Now, we face our share of doubts and challenges, but it's all part of the adventure. And as often as Patience reminds me, it's important to enjoy the journey.
Absolutely. This journey, while challenging, has brought us closer and made us really appreciate the simple things in life. The excitement of the unknown and the adventure that awaits us keeps us motivated.
Remember, it's okay to feel overwhelmed and uncertain. Just take it one step at a time and lean on your loved ones for support. We're all in this together, and we're here to share our experiences with you. Thank you for being a part of our journey. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our adventures.
So until next time, keep that movement in motion.